Welcome to our Sunday Funday extravaganza. We're just gonna go around the league, talk about a few stories while we hit the weekend. One of the first stories I want to lead off with is Dion Waiters. Now, Dion Waiters took an edible. He got so high on his way to LA after he took the edible, he had a panic attack and was unable to play against the Los Angeles Lakers. Needless to say, there's that famous Stephen A. Smith line, stay off the weed, man. Well, stay off the edible, man, because I'll tell you one thing, and this is openly admitted by one of the most legendary weed smokers of all time, Snoop Dogg. Even Snoop Dogg doesn't take certain edibles. He said this on The Breakfast Club. He said, for a fact, I don't mess with the edible stuff. I stick with my weed or whatever. He said one time he had an edible, and he just felt like he had an out-of-body experience. And that out-of-body experience, lo and behold, is that panic attack that Dion Waiters experienced. You're not a even with marijuana, these guys aren't even professional marijuana smokers. A lot of them smoke Reggie. For the fact that you want to graduate to edibles and you're not even an expert in the marijuana, it just blows my mind. It boggles my mind. And quite unfortunately, he missed a game due to that. Now, a couple of Sunday Fundays prior, I asked Dion Waiters, do you want to play basketball? And if he's having panic attacks, smoking, taking edibles and all this other stuff, the resounding answer to that is no. Mind you, he's missed a lot of games due to injury. And if he's missing games due to marijuana usage, edible usage, he's just making himself seem useless. And he could end himself up like in a Gilbert Arenas situation. Gilbert, of course, he could play, pulled out guns in the locker room, never really got the run that he needed. Of course, he had injuries, but the guns really knocked off, I would say, a third of his career that he could have played extra longer. You look at Dion Waiters, the marijuana, the antics and stuff like that, it's going to hurt him. And please believe this, Pat Riley's going to look to trade him. I know they're trying to make marijuana legal and edibles legal. That's not the problem. The problem is like when you're not able to be functional. And he's missing games due to that. And it's too many. It's too much. At the end of the day, it's too much. So do you want to play in the NBA or not? And with this coming up, with Dion is just saying that I don't want to play. Gordon Hayward recently suffered a fracture in his left hand. He broke his hand, essentially. They don't know if they're going to do surgery yet. And my thing is this. It's like some people can't catch a break. He just came off, the gruesome leg injury. And the famous words of Charles Barkley, when you jump on your broken leg, it's going to break, duh. Anyway, that's just a side note. But he just recovered from the leg injury. Suffering a hand injury. He's going to be out for some time. And you're thinking to yourself, what is it going to take for him to just stay healthy? He just seems like he's going to be like one of those players like Brandon Roy, Greg Oden, Derrick Rose, guys that they could play ball and they have great spurts of basketball, but they just can't seem to stay healthy. And it's quite unfortunate because, he just hit his stride. The Celtics are like 6-1, I believe. They played really great games against all their opponents. They don't play down to their competition. He was all over the place. I believe he had a triple-double against the Hornets. Now he's suffering a broken left hand. It's just like Murphy's Law. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he just can't catch a break. You would just hope one season after this whole leg injury, he could play, trust his body, and everything works out. And it's a random collision with LaMarcus Aldridge. These big men, man. Steph got his hand broken by Baines. This kid is getting his hand broken by LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's just not fair. It's just not fair. It's not fair for Gordon Hayward at all. And, unfortunately, this might just be the MO of his career. He's going to continue to get injured over and over and over. Last but not least, load management, of course, is all the rage. Everybody's upset about Kawhi Leonard sitting out games. They was mad that he sat out against the Milwaukee Bucks, but he played against the Portland Trail Blazers. And to me, I understand everybody's trepidation. They're upset about it, and people have spent money for their tickets and all this other stuff. But at the same time, for Kawhi Leonard to do it, I can understand. Not to say that I like it. I don't like it. But I 100% understand it. Kawhi Leonard still has spurts and moments where he's limping. He was limping during the whole entire NBA Finals. He was giving people 30 and limping. He limped off the plane when he was making his decision to go to the Los Angeles Clippers. You all saw that footage when it was like 3 trucks and Kawhi was coming off the plane. He was limping off the plane. If he needs to do load management so you can see him in the playoffs and in the finals, because in the playoffs, he doesn't take games off. In the Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, he's not taking games off. NBA Finals, Kawhi didn't take any games off. So if he could take a game off in November so I can see him in the playoffs, I have no problem with that. And I know fans are like, well, I spend my money and I won't get to see Kawhi Leonard play or whatever. I understand that 100%. But at the same time, you can see Lou Williams play. You can see Paul George play when he comes back. You can see Montrezl Harrell. You can see Patrick Beverly. You can see the opposing player. Like, for example, he didn't play with the Bucks game. You got to see Giannis bust ass. You know, I know you don't get to see the best of the best go against each other 100%, but at the same time, if this guy gets hurt regular season in November, you know what the headline is going to be? He gets hurt, twists his knee misalignment, meniscus tear, ACL tear, whatever. Why didn't the Clippers rest him? Why didn't they preserve his body? Why didn't they load management him more? That's what's going to happen. So to me, it's just like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, but do what's in the best interest of the team. Best interest of the team is not to try to win a Eastern Conference game that's going to cost you half a game back if you lose it. It's to win your division. That's what Doc Rivers is doing. They're playing it smart, man. They're playing the West Coast teams, winning their division. Games that matter, he's going to play. Games that don't matter, he's going to sit. And guys, honestly, do we need to see a rematch between Giannis and Kawhi Leonard? Kawhi Leonard had him in a box. Bucks went up 2-0 in the series in the playoffs, and after that, Kawhi Leonard shut Giannis down. And when I mean shut him down, I mean they took away his options. Not only did Kawhi take away the options, the coach, Nick Nurse, took away everything. Took away everything. It was bad. Like, it really showed how limited Giannis Antetokounmpo's game was. But at the end of the day, I mean, I understand you spend your money to go see tickets, but if you're a true fan of basketball, you could watch some bummy teams play and find like the excitement in it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in this case, the Clippers are so deep. You get to watch Lou Williams play, Jermichael Green. You get to watch Patrick Beverly, the Hound guys. And you get to watch the opposing team. I think sometimes, you know, people are taking it the wrong way. Like, he's just doing it on purpose. Like, when Greg Popovich was doing it, everybody was cool with it. But like, now that players are taking it into their own hands, it's not like you don't see where Kawhi Leonard needs some rest. Like, he doesn't look 100%. It's not like he's 100. It's not like he's 100% healthy, doing East Bays between the legs and dunking the ball. No, like, you can see certain times where he looks a little shaky there. So, I mean, to me, I hate load management, but for the guys that are injured, like, if Derrick Rose needed load management back in the day, he probably would still be playing at peak performance, 100%. Gilbert Arenas is another guy. Tracy McGrady maybe is another guy that he could have played longer if there was load management like the way Kawhi's doing it back then. Because honestly, you don't need to beat all the Eastern Conference teams or whatever the case. You need to win your division so you can be in the playoffs. Then you play all the games. And that's what the fans really pay their money for, because it's $10 grand a seat there, baby. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.